Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about for loop. So what is for loop and also when do we use for loop? So for loop is for iteration, we are iterating in numbers. Okay, when do we use for loop? When we know how many times we should iterate, then for loop is gonna be our best option. So we have already know that when there is a do while and also a while loop, right? But in this case, when once we know the iteration number, then we should go with the for each loop, right? So when we try to create the for loop, this is the skeleton of the for loop, for parentheses and this curly brackets, and then so this line here, this line is important. Okay, the first part initialization, that means like we need to initialize, right? We need to initialize and then prepare the condition and then increment, right? And then increment. Okay, I'm gonna initialize int num equals 1 and then put the semicolon, right? Put the semicolon and then num. So it comes to, so this part is initialization, and then the second part is condition. What is the condition? Like what are you trying to do? 10, less than or equal 10. Semicolon again. Num is in this part. This is the increment part, right? We have already learned the increment. So whatever I am teaching here, there is a purpose, right? There is a purpose. We will use everything inside the Java that what I am learning, what I am teaching here. Okay, so initialization int number equals 1, condition number less than or equal 10, and the increment is happening by 1, right? By 1. So what is gonna happen here? What is gonna happen? I'm gonna print this out, print the number out, right? Print the number out. So what? I'm gonna actually print in the same line, not the line by line, but in the same line, right? Print. Okay, and then actually I can put, since we know the concatenation, right, we can put some space so it can be more clear on the console. Okay, what did we do here? We are iterating the numbers 1 to 10 and I am printing those numbers on the console, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so this is how we decorate, right? This is how we decorate for each loop. Okay, so the question here, the example here, print the number 1 to 10 and then 10 to 1. Already we have already did 1 to 10. We print the numbers on the console 1 to 10, right? 1 to 10. And then now it comes to opposite way, right? Now it comes to opposite way. Again, we need to create the for each loop, for loop. Okay, again, initialization. Int, this time I'm going to call it I equals 10, because what are we going to do? We are going to print the numbers 10 to 1 this time, 10 to 1, and then I less than or equal 10, bigger than equal 0, right? Bigger than equal 0, and then I minus minus, right? In this case we are going to decrease. So this is the logic, how awesome it is, right? So when you look at this, we initialized it already in here. We initialized that our number I is going to be 10. It is going to start from the 10. Actually, you can think like this. This is the starting point. This is the ending point, right? So it's going to start from here, and then it's going to go down till the 0. It's going to go down actually till the 0. I'm going to make it 1 because if it goes till down 0, it's going to be 11 number on the console. So again, so what are we going to do? I'm telling for each to actually decrease the numbers one by one, right? One by one. Okay, so I'm gonna print I and then do the concatenation, put the space, put this. I'm not able to. Okay, so put the space and then of course I'm gonna print those in the same line. I don't want it to take lots of space on my console. So what's gonna happen? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, right? How incredible it is, right? How incredible it is. Okay, so I think we got it, right? I think we got it. This is the skeleton of the for each loop. For loop for, and then condition. The initialization part and the condition part and the increment or the decrement part. And then whatever you want to do inside of the for each loop, for loop, you can do it, right? You can do it. So okay, print the even numbers. I hope everybody knows what is even number, right? Even number 2, 4, 6. Okay, I'm gonna create another for loop. I'm keep saying for each loop. I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, int. This time I'm gonna call it k, right? Equals. So, but we need to give it let's say 1 to 10, right? 1 to 10, print the numbers, even numbers, 1 to 10, right? Inside of this 1 to 10. Okay, it's gonna start from 1, and then num is gonna be less than or equal 10, right? I mean, not the num, because we didn't declare num as num. 10, and then k. So in this case, you can do two ways, right? You can do two ways. Since you are going to be able to increase the numbers, so it is like um, plus equals 2. Like, so what's gonna happen here? So it is going to increase increase the number, increase the number. So actually this is not going to work, right? This is not going to work. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, it's gonna work, but I will show you. But here, so what we can do is we learned if condition, right? We learned if condition, so I can use if condition. And also what we have been learning here, we also learned modulus, right? Modulus operation, logical operator. Okay, so what can I put here? So what can I put here? I like this part actually. So what can I do if, right, if k modulus 2 equals 0, look at the logic here. Look at the logic here. So if k, so in the first iteration, k is going to be 1. 1 divided by 2, what's going to happen? It's not going to be 0, right? It's not going to be 0. 2 divided by 2, the modulus is going to be 0, right? Modulus is gonna be 0. Okay, then 2 is gonna be even number, right? 2 is gonna be even number. System dot print lane, and then I'm gonna print out k, and then this, right? And then this. Okay. So I'm gonna actually explain it a little bit more for you guys, so you guys can understand better, right? So what do we do here? What are we going to do here? So we are printing, right? Print even numbers 1 to 10. Between 1 to 10, print the even number. So how can I find out the even number? So if the number is going to be, if the number, when the number divide by even numbers, divide by, 2, right? Divided by 2, one of them is 2, right? If the modulus is 0, that means that's an even number, right? That's an even number. So this is how we can find even numbers. Okay, let's print it out. All right. Wow, look at it. Okay, one of them is 2, one of them is 4, one of them 10, one of them 8, one of them one of them 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. These numbers are even numbers because 10 is included, right? 10 is included. How awesome it is. Now we are getting into logic. Now we are getting into development, right? We are doing something right now. We are doing something. This is the actually fun part of the Java. Fun part of the Java is this. So I'm gonna print odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, right? Odd numbers. If we divide it to even number, if some number, when the sum number divided by the even number, if the modulus is 1, that means it's odd number, right? So let's create again for each loop. I'm gonna call it I again equals 1, and then I less than or equal 10, and then I say I plus plus, right? I plus plus, it is going to increase. Okay, again I'm gonna say if condition. I'm gonna put if condition. If I modulus, if I modulus 2 equals 1, then what's gonna happen? The numbers are gonna be odd numbers, right? Numbers are gonna be odd numbers. And in a couple of seconds, I'm gonna show you how to actually to calculate the sum of the even numbers or the sum of the odd numbers, right? Sum of the odd numbers. So I'm gonna print this out here. Um, Again, okay. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna print this on the same line. Okay, now we are going to see the odd numbers on the console, right? On the console. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These are the odd numbers between 1 to 10. Okay, if I wanna calculate the sum of the odd numbers, let's, in this case, you need to use your mind, right? You need to use your mind. So how can I print something out that which is going to give me the sum of the even numbers or the odd numbers? Then you need to have to you have to create some another variable, right? Another variable, and you need to assign it to 0, right? You need to assign it to 0 because what we're gonna do, we're gonna add those total of the even numbers or the odd numbers into this variable, right? Into this variable. So what's gonna happen? I'm gonna also print it out, and also what am I gonna say? Total. Look at this, plus equals I, plus equals I, guys, plus equals I. So what's gonna happen? It's gonna happen. So it is gonna get in my if condition, right? It is gonna get in my if condition, right? Also, I can actually great. I just came into my mind. I'm gonna show you. Also, let's print out another way if it is not divisible by. I mean, if the modulus is not gonna be 1, and the rest of them is gonna be what? And the rest of them is gonna be even numbers, right? The rest of them is gonna be even numbers. And also, you can do the logic here. Also, you can do another logic here, right? The total plus equals I is gonna give me the even numbers total, right? So in this case, what am I doing? So we have already learned the if else condition, right? We have to, we have to understand what's happening here. This is actually great logic here, right? Great logic here. So but I'm not printing total. I realize that. So I will explain to you. Okay, so here let's explain it again, right? So what are we doing is here we have created the for loop, and then we are actually printing the numbers. We are iterating the numbers 1 to 10. Between 1 to 10, we are iterating the numbers, right? Okay. So here I put a condition, if condition, to be able to find odd numbers, right? Odd numbers. If my number, if first iteration is going to be 1, right? And the second iteration is going to be 2, I is going to be 2. And the third iteration is going to be 3, right? Let's talk about the first iteration. If 1 divided by 2 modulus is going to be 1 or no? Yes, 1, right? Not the 0, right? If it is 1, then it's an odd number. Okay, it's going to get in this part, right? It is going to get in this part. So it is going to print the number I, which is odd number, and then it is going to calculate them, sum them. We are going to sum them, and then we are going to print the total. If it is, so let's talk about the second iteration, right? Second iteration, our number I is going to be 2. Our number I is going to be 2, right? And then what's going to happen? So what's going to happen? It is going to get an else condition. We are going to print those one by one, and then we are going to calculate them, and then it is going to give us the sum of the even numbers, and then we are going to print out the total. So if you guys still didn't understand how the for each loop works, just come up here and try to understand what the for loop is doing. For loop is iterating the numbers, the number you are putting on into the condition, right? Into the condition, initialization, starting point, ending point, and increment point, right? And the increment point, right? Okay. So let's print this out. I'm excited too. Let's print this out and what's gonna happen. Okay. So I see something here. Okay, what am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do is actually too many numbers, right? That's why we are not going to even realize that what's gonna happen here, what's going on here. Okay, print, um, print. Okay, that's why this is happening. So we should be printing those on the same line, right? Okay. So what's happening here? I is gonna be 1, and so let's not print them out, right? Let's not. This is not a good idea. Actually, if I say this print line, that's gonna be more visible, I guess. Let's see if it's gonna be more visible. So yeah, that's not gonna make it visible. So that's why I don't want it to print it out. But it can give me the total of time, right? Total of time. So what's gonna happen is I'm trying to see. Okay, so we are in here. So 136. 10, 136, I mean 136, and it is gonna be 10, right? 136, and it is gonna be, did I run? Okay, yeah, 136, and the 136, and the total is gonna be 10. 15, 21, right? 15, 21, 15, 21, and this is actually not working. I don't know why. Hold on, let me delete this. So what's happening here? I don't understand if I'm missing something here. So let's see. So what is it doing? It is giving me total, because but you are actually printing out the total here. That's why that is causing the problem. So we should print out the total outside of it, and also we should print the numbers inside of it, right? So we are learning. So here I'm gonna print the I outside of it, because it got complicated and I didn't want to keep it on there. So that's not a good idea. Okay, so here, okay, so here, uh, why is it print line print line, and if I put this here, yeah, that now it is better, right? It is better now. We got it. Okay, so we are trying to print out the odd numbers, right? Odd numbers, which is not going to be which is with the modulus is not gonna be zero, right? Modulus is gonna be one. That means it is gonna be, if my number modulus 2, it's gonna be 1. That means it's a odd number, right? It's an odd number. So what is our odd numbers when it comes to 1 to 10? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then the total of them is gonna be 25. Total of them is going to be 25. Okay, let's do it for even number. Let's do it for even numbers. Sorry for the complication, but it sometimes happens. Int, I'm going to say even, right? You can even call even 1, and even equals less than or equal 10, and then even plus plus, right? Even, not this, even this, and then, as I say, like sometimes that might happen. You actually try and fail, right? You actually try and fail, see what's going on in your logic, so you don't need to copy and paste anything. You try, fail, and you will understand that where to put the logic, right? Where to put the logic. As you guys see here, I'm printing this total outside of the for each loop, right? Outside of the for each loop. So it is actually, if you are actually printing it out inside of the for each loop, every time it is getting in here and then printing it out. Every time it is getting in here, getting the total and printing it out, right? Printing it out. And that's not what we want here. That's not what we want. We want to see the total of the odd numbers on one line, right? That's why I printed out outside of the for each loop. So here, if my even number, modulus 2 is gonna be 0, that means my number is gonna be even, right? My number is gonna be even. So I'm gonna print out the even numbers, right? I'm gonna print out the even numbers, and then I'm gonna create another variable here. Excuse me, int total 1 0, right? 1 0. Okay, in this case, so we got it, and then I'm gonna say int total 1 equals even, right? So I hope everybody is understanding this logic here. And then outside of the, so please be careful about the curly brackets. If you are working with Java, when you are working with Java, you have to be careful with the curly brackets here. Look, this is starting, ending here. This is starting and ending here. See, whenever you click here, it is pointing out the ending point of the curly brackets. So which is actually good. You can understand what's happening in your logic. And then here, I'm gonna print out total 1, right? Total 1. And I'm gonna put one space here so we can understand. So what's gonna happen here? I'm gonna print this on the same line, but I'm gonna print this on the other line, right? So what is my even numbers between 1 to 10? It is gonna be 2, 4, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then those numbers, when you calculate them, the sum of them is gonna be 18, 20, and then 30, right? 18, 20, and then 30. So this is all about this video. I hope you guys understand how we can use for each loop. This is really, really important. And also for the real-time environment, you will always be using do while loop, and the for each loop all the time, over and over again, to be able to actually manage your workflow, control your workflow, and get the some data from UI, maybe get data some from API, maybe get data some from database. And those are gonna be like iterational numbers sometimes, and you might have to or you will have to use one of the iteration, right? One of the iteration logic here, maybe do while, maybe for each loop. But for each loop is the most important one for me. Also while loop, but do while loop sometimes in some situation we are using it too. But the for each loop, we have to really know what we can do with the for each loop. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you guys in the next video. And please make a comment and like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I see you guys next time.